How's that? August Max newspaper. Special edition. Right in the time. Who cares? Just thought I'd break it up into two. So we went over that other stuff. As they're just pounding me with stuff. And one of these days, this is the section that has like sudoku. I try to like how I do sudoku. I used to do this all the time. So that might be another video too. Gosh, I'm just like history. It's full of it. Local business. Oh, there's sea turtles are making a comeback again. And then the fishermen are like, let's make excuses to hunt the sea turtles now. Reality series to begin filming on Maui again. Everybody take off your shirts. Temptation Island. They're gonna film. They got special permission from the Maui mayor. They're gonna film again. Oh boy. Which that's 2 previous seasons on Maui. There will be major film or television production in Hawaii. It's the first major film or television production since the COVID-19 outbreak. Wow, they're the first one since the outbreak happened. Wow, they're making progress on Maui. They must have their act together. Officials neither said production will spend $7.5 million in Hawaii. Cha-ching! Good reason. I mean, no, they just actually like very popular. Everything that's popular makes money. Spend money on that. What the fuck? What I do here? I mentioned there's 272 current cases, and the beds have been occupied, and the ventilators are being used, and it all goes down the tubes. Unrest. Oh yeah, here we have some stuff in here. Didn't even get to the friggin' letters to the editor, special edition. Oh gosh. Okay, first off, you think this is all about U.S., right? There's these people here. Corona, restrictions, anger, crowd. These are in... Well, this one protester is... See this little horn right there? That's a vuvuzela. So she even was so frustrated she got out her vuvuzela. She got her vuvuzela out and was going... See? And then... Riot Patrol... This is in Berlin, you know, where vuvuzelas are prevalent. And they're going, see, these Berliners are going, these guys are going, damn, man, we just stand here and look like a giant freaking wall of SWAT team and riot control. And these guys are sitting there in their little lawn chairs going, Vuvuzela, I'm protesting that these restrictions, I don't like restrictions or wearing masks and other measures to stop the spread of this virus. What's wrong with you people? You're binding my freedoms and rights. I know, it's crazy. Now, learn. Another part of the world, New Delhi, India, has had registered record high 78,761 corona cases. 78,761 corona cases in the past 24 hours. 948 deaths last one day. 948 deaths last day. And a building collapsed in China because it was made in China. Bad joke. Now over here, you have this guy. He's a Kashmiri Shiite Muslim. And he's whipping him. I thought he was like taking a swing at somebody. Take this, mofo. Whack! You know, it looks like kind of a protesty crowd looking. But he's whipping himself. Oh, it's so good. But he's whipping himself in protest on the Dhurni Muharram procession in Srinagar. I'm trying to get these culturally correct, okay? And just the pronunciation. Not that I'm... Muharram processions in the Srinagar, an Indian-controlled Kashmir. So, quick brush up. Here's India, and here's Pakistan. Ever since Gandhi said, "Get the hell out of India, Britain, England," British colonialism, "Get the hell India for India," Mahatma Gandhi. Ever since they got out, and there's Christians, Muslims, and Hindus. Can't we all just get along? Mahatma Gandhi, that's India. So a lot of Hindus went that way, and then that way, east and west. Yeah, on this side there's Bangladesh in the east, and in the west, Pakistan. High concentration of Muslims, like 98%. Dude. Pakistan, India, kind of more Hindu. In between is this little bit of land called Kashmir. They're still protesting. They're still in conflict over whose chunk of land that is. But they're kind of copacetic for a long time, but there's still tension. Because when you're moving through Kashmir, moving through Kashmir, one of the coolest Led Zeppelin songs. But it also speaks about going through the desert. Because one side is Muslim, one side is Christian. Each consider them, the other side, the Satan. So the Muslims think the Christians are the Satan. The Christians think the Muslims are the Satan. So when you're moving through Kashmir, you're in that limbo. Kind of very Aleister Crowley. Limbo. The limbo desert wasteland, where you're in betwixt two major religions, where you have none or all mix and none. Aleister Crowley. Satan in the desert. Their religion doesn't exist. Above us only sky. The devil made me think he doesn't exist. Evangelical Christians are idiots. Spent too much time on that? Yep. Anyways, here's another thing. India has nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. At least one nuclear warhead each. And they hate each other over a patch of land called Kashmir. Lob one missile over here, blame it on Pakistan. Lob one missile over here, blame it on India. More likely the way around. It's a World War II sparker. Well, I mean, 3. World War II's ending this Wednesday. Again, 75 years ago. So you think this stuff is about this stuff, right? No, Indian forces in Saturday fired shotgun pellets, tear gas to disperse hundreds of, careful, Shiite Muslims. Those are the ones that don't like the Sunni Muslims, who don't like the Shiites, and the Shiites don't like the Sunnis, and Sunnis don't like the Shiites. All because they're not in agreement over who's the successor to the original thug, Muhammad. Muhammad is a thug. I drew a picture of him the other day. No, I didn't. But I don't agree with the founders, but I shouldn't go in that territory. It just doesn't make sense. People shouldn't compare that crap anyways. But just fuel in the fire. So the Shiites don't like the Muslims, and the Muslims don't like the Shiites because they're like, we're the true successor, that kind of stuff. Muslims don't like India, and India don't like, they're Hindu. They don't, and they both got nuclear weaponry. So stay tuned, or not. So, but in this religious proceeding, which was a funeral, which most cases were getting transmitted at funerals, in a traditional religious procession in India-controlled Kashmir. So they boom, did the protesters. Police in the main city of Srinagar said the mourners on the outskirts of the city violated coronavirus prohibitions restricting all religious processions, and so they attacked them with the riot squad. In some processions, they were seen as raising slogans seeking an end to Indian rule in Kashmir, where the insurgency has claimed thousands of lives over the past 3 decades. So what you got going on is politicized the virus? No. What are you talking about? You can use it to, it's kingmaker. You can make kings, you can break kings. It's just a freaking plague. You can manipulate people. Just don't spread it around. Okay, here we go. Back into the normal thinking America, where we have reason and God, Jesus help us, bless our bones. Coronavirus cooperation between city and state, easier than said than done. The city and the state, one is the mayor and one is the governor. The lack of a plan was obvious. This guy is a political piece, Richard Boreka. This lack of plan was obvious last week as Ige, governor, and Caldwell, mayor, spent much of the time just stepping over each other. Ige was asked last week to comment on the state auditor's report, blasting the health department. Money auditor. The report said, quote, instead of cooperation and assistance, we encountered barriers, delays, and ultimately were denied access to those who were responsible for leading the department's contact tracing. They give them a bunch of money, but they're not doing what they should be doing. I want an auditor report, and this is what the health department spokeswoman needed time to review it, Ige said. Ige said he hadn't seen it. Oh, I didn't catch that one. And when asked about the developing pattern of not providing public with information about the state's COVID-19 fighting plans, the governor became obviously testicular. He became a giant roid rage testicle. He became, well, that's the root meaning of the word. He became testy, as it says. Not as in up the nose with the Q-tip. The testy. Keep going. Quote, Governor Ige, we have been committed to transparency. Clearly we are under emergency conditions. We will make information possible. So he's like, oh shit. Now, Ige's first reactions from declaring the virus emergency was to suspend portions of the state's freedom of information laws, including open meeting requirements. You know, like the Sunshine Law is a big transparency. You can go to the things, you can attend and see what they're talking about. You're like, cut that stuff out. No. So it's like closed doors, because money or people's lives. We're going to have to talk about that. And you're not going to want that to get out. So he's doing the Trumpy thing. You're not supposed to hear what we're saying. Much of that time was a result of Ige administration forced to work in conjunction. So here's the mayor trying to get big time restrictions going down with the city, and then at the same time the Anderson guy, the health department, is telling him just randomly make it 4 weeks instead of 2 weeks. See, like, Caldwell's trying to play both sides. Anderson, the health guy, is just saying, just shut it down for a month. And he's like, I'm not going to just do that. And Ige's like, oh, so I gave it back to Ige. I sent it back to him, Governor Ige, and said, I'm not going to do what Dr. Anderson requested, Caldwell said. I'm not going to do something that I don't have to do. Admiral Jerome M. Adams spent half a week here acting like the adult in the room, doling out federal money for a massive increase in testing, inspecting facilities, and warning officials they have little time left to get a handle on the virus before it spiraled out of control. This is the U.S. Surgeon Vice Admiral guy talking to the mayor and the governor. Perhaps he was hoping that if he said cooperation enough, they would catch his drift. If I keep on saying, it's nice how you guys are cooperating, it's nice how you guys are cooperating. Guess they're not cooperating. He's hoping that, well, let's take a look. Yeah. Do all that and maybe we get down to the freaking details of this thing. God, it's falling apart and they don't have enough time to cover it all. What do people say? Masks will become the norm for all. Of course they will. The diet from the virus is going to become a norm for all. Oh, this one. See, this is like one attitude. One attitude. Restrictions trample on our freedoms. Don't they? Who would have thought 6 months ago anyone would have dreamed we cannot have friends over for dinner, sit on the beach, play picnic, pick your nose, walk the dog on the North Shore, forest trails, shop for clothes at the mall? We blindly accept how many people can enter the store with this, and closed masks are necessary outside when no one is close, and that attending a riot is okay, and church is not, and that all our constitutional rights are gone, telling us what we can and cannot do with self-righteous snitches everywhere reporting on neighbors. Does this frighten you? It should. Thank you, Gary of Kaneohe. Just adding to the whole freaking mess. Here we go again. Changing reels. Ready to? 3, 2, 1. Back from the time warp. Going through the portal. I'm rebirthed. Actually. Just getting cliches which are all in that way. Yes, I'm reporting all this like horrible. It's hard to make fun of it. I try. But you know what? Sometimes I get wrapped up into it trying to push it all out there, but here, I'll just say, restrictions trample on our freedoms. You're what? Gary of Kaneohe. Your freedom to infect other people because you want to take a frickin' hike? Yeah, go take your hike. Take a hike. Go walk around spreading the virus because of your frickin' freedoms. Is that what your freedom is? Spreading a deadly virus? Is that less important than your stupid walking the dog in the forest or buying your clothes at the mall? Screw you. And riling up people, which is making riots and people are getting shot. And by the way, the guy got shot, that's bad, I guess, overreaction for police violence. But the officer, he was walking away from the guy. He was trying to arrest him. He was like trying to taser. He's walking into a vehicle, and when the doors open, the guy's behind him. He tries to grab him. He looked, and there's a freaking giant knife. Oh, I don't know, a knife on the thing in the car. Was he gonna struggle with the guy who gets a knife and gets stabbed? Right there. There's a freaking weapon. And he's resisting. He uses a weapon right there. I'm just saying, that's a police matter, and they should investigate it on a police level, not a riot matter or a Black Lives Matter level. No. That's not. The guy had a weapon. Then you're going to argue, well, if it wasn't black, if he was white, then he would have got shot. And that's still a police level. So you're fishing to get flamed up, and it's spiraling out of control. Zombie apocalypse. And that's what I'm talking about. This kind of thing is fuel for zombie apocalypse. Fudge, Fuji was called, Fuji's next name is Fudge, but who cares about what the hell? UH president, screw you. And now I'm getting pissed. Visit website before lighting up to the death. The headline of the paper, solved. Go to the website, fill out the form, get your test. It takes less than 30 minutes and you get free masks. That's what you're, this. Not this, this. Stupid. And, well, quick before we go. Remember the bones underneath the swimming pool? Oh, we were digging a cesspool, which is next to the swimming pool, I suppose. We're digging a cesspool, and we found human bones from ancient Hawaiians. We're just going to put them in a drawer in the construction site, and then we'll, stick them back in the ground. I don't know, put them under the banana tree later. What the? That, on top of all the loopholes So here's one. Obama's friend manipulated rules. Absolutely. I'm appalled at the way people with money and influence can manipulate Hawaii rules and laws to suit their own purposes. Absolutely. One-time minimal fee, and that seawall is authorized for 55 years. Can't do shit, man. 55 years. Nesbitt and his wife exploited the loopholes, 3 acres of parcels divided to exploit and violated the Shoreline Protection Act. The city's Department of Planning and Permitting, City of Honolulu's Department of Planning and Permitting granted these exemptions because they're paid off. Okay, got enough money? Okay. These departments and those in charge of them are disgraced. Those are the ones you want to boot. And are doing a disservice to Hawaii taxpayers and residents. Absolutely caroling of wherever you're from. There's so much news. We sing the headlines once again. We get to my stress release. Sing the headlines, release stress. Frustration mounts. As frustration mounts, I bend over and get fucked in the ass. Drink more coffee. Aloha. It was.